I'm Aaron. Welcome to another video. It is very early January 2025, so Happy New Year. And given that, seemed like a great time to kind of do a reintroduction video. So, with no further ado, in addition to it being New Year's, my channel also just hit 1,000 subscribers. So thank you so much to all of you who decided to support this channel by hitting that subscribe button, by spending some of your valuable time watching my videos and interacting with my content. I really appreciate it. I hope that more of you decide to do both those things. Subscribe and interact, comment, watch, have a conversation. Dialogues are fantastic. With this sort of influx of new subscribers, though, I really thought that kind of a reintroduction might be a good idea, because I actually don't feature myself and like my history and everything that much on my channel. So I figured, probably a good idea. So, like I said, my name is Aaron. I have been a birder since a very young age. I got into birding when I was about 6 years old, and I've been hard at it pretty much ever since. And that has taken me to just tons of different directions in lots of different ways. And that has included kind of professionally. I'm now a senior environmental scientist at a state agency called the Wildlife Conservation Board, where I oversee habitat restoration projects specifically focused on stream and river restoration, but certainly interacting with birds, since birds like streams and rivers. Continued on being a birder, like I said, working with lots of different organizations. I've volunteered for a bunch. I've led walks for a bunch. I've served on a board of one or two, various committees, stuff like that. As a science communicator, I've written about birds and birding and science and nature, both for my own blog, for some community magazines, popular science magazines. That kind of has all gelled together into me writing a book, which is coming out later this year. It's coming out in March, called The Birds of the California Delta. The California Delta being a place that I've definitely lived in, worked in, birded in for many years, and is sort of near and dear to my heart. And so I'm hoping to bring some of those birds and some of the knowledge of that delta, that special place, to a wider audience with the publication of this book. So in terms of kind of the dry academic background of everything, I got a bachelor's degree at UC Berkeley in environmental sciences, where I did my senior thesis studying the diet of an urban population of Cooper's hawks. I went on after that to do several internships on various bird-related topics with various bird research organizations, and then got a first master's degree in avian science at UC Davis. Then transitioned that into what was supposed to be a PhD program, also at UC Davis. That one in animal behavior. And both those graduate degrees were going to focus on various aspects of speciation and call differences in evening grosbeaks, which are a really beautiful, big mountain finch. PhD didn't actually end up working out because of mostly funding issues. And so I left with a second master's degree. So I have the first in avian science, and then I got a master's in animal behavior. And with those two master's degrees under my belt, I started working for the state of California. I got a job initially with the Department of Water Resources for a short stint as a scientific aide, and then transitioned to a full-time sort of permanent position as an environmental scientist with a group called the Sacramento San Joaquin Delta Conservancy, which is where I sort of really got my first professional taste of the Delta. I'd been birding in the Delta a lot. I'd lived in the Delta at that point. But that had been the first time I'd really worked in the Delta. Did that for 5+ years, and then got a promotion to my current position of senior environmental scientist with the Wildlife Conservation Board. Like I said, doing stream and river restoration work. So it's been really fun. I find the work really rewarding, and I'm looking forward to seeing kind of where it takes me in the future. Definitely very happy where I am right now for a while, and just sort of getting my feet under me and really delving into the water world of California, which, to say is complex is an understatement. my hope has always been, with this channel, with the writings that I've done, with the walks that I lead, with pretty much everything I put out into the world, to provide a source of accurate, engaging, hopefully, entertaining, hopefully, information, but accurate information on the natural world. So I cover things like birds and birding. I cover mushrooms. I cover insects and plants. I cover processes like evolution and habitat restoration and mimicry and all sorts of stuff like that. I touch on basically all of it in these videos, and I'm hoping to kind of continue, honestly, doing more of the same in the coming year. It's been great to sort of build the community that is sort of formed around these ideas and sort of has joined me on this journey. And it's been fun to kind of branch out in different ways. You know, the YouTube channel is one place, my blog is another place, but I've also started, I've been posting on Instagram, and I'm on Threads and Blue Sky and a few other platforms. Like, I'm kind of trying to experiment with all these different platforms and see kind of what works. And it's been really great to see all the different peoples in all those different communities kind of come together around these ideas of accurate scientific information and birds. And I mean, hey, who doesn't love birds? Going forward into the next year, obviously the book publication is a big upcoming event. I'm going to be leading bird walks and giving some bird talks on the subject around kind of the Delta Bay area. I'm still forming the schedule, but it's definitely forming, and it will be around, and I will be making announcements about when I'm going to be leading things where. And I'm also, in the coming year, gonna hopefully start bringing some other people into this video format, this YouTube channel. So I'm hoping to start conducting some interviews with other kind of experts in the field, other prominent people, other people who just have expertise in really interesting aspects of birds, nature, science, that kind of can supplement my own knowledge, and we can all learn something together. Another thing I'm hoping to do is maybe start doing some book reviews of nature and bird books. There are certainly so many out there, and as I've been writing my own, I've been reading a lot, and certainly having some thoughts about some of that reading, and so I thought I would share some of those thoughts with you periodically. This is not going to become a book review channel, but I might start scattering in some book reviews here and there. And just a lot more on the Delta, on California, on the trips that I take, and the nature, the birds, the science that I find there. I'm also very interested to hear what you would like to see on this video. If you have ideas or questions about some aspects of birds, nature, science that you're kind of curious about, let me know. I've done it in the past where I've had people ask really great questions and then done a video on that question, sort of addressing it, and I'd be delighted to do it more. So if you have questions, if you have topics that are interesting or confusing or just something that you're sort of curious about, I'm very open to that dialogue, and you can kind of curate a little bit of what my content is. I'd be happy to. So yeah, that's kind of a bit about me, kind of a bit about where I've come from, what I've done. I've birded across the country. I've birded many countries around the world. I've gone on trips up to Alaska and down to Mexico and from California to Maine. And I look forward to taking you along with me on many of these adventures that I have coming in the next year and years. Definitely got some really cool ones planned for 2025. I'm really excited about, and I think we'll make some really interesting content for you to join me on that I hope you enjoy. So with that, happy 2025. I hope that the new year brings us all fantastic things. And again, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel, for supporting it in any way, with likes, with comments, with shares. Anything you do is very, very much appreciated. And I'm very honored to have the support that you've all shown me. And with that, as my usual sign off, enjoy the natural world.